You mentioned XRP. There's a huge community behind it. Obviously, a very high-profile lawsuit from the SEC against Ripple.
Yeah, I own some XRP actually.
A lot of XRP holders are going to be excited to hear about that. When did you take a position?
A year ago.
And
I bought it for the reason that A, it does have use cases and it is being used, and B, the court case is a phenomenal risk reward. It got heavily discounted in the price. And then I looked at it and thought, well, what's it going to do? Fall 100% from here to zero. But if it gets solved, it's, 10x. And I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer. Why would you not take a 10-for-1 risk reward that has a catalyst around it? It's just kind of interesting. So, I just thought as a special situation, it was interesting.
The bet that you're looking at is mainly around this lawsuit and the fact that the price is suppressed as a result, or
correct? Are
you also looking at adoption globally, that there's no restrictions in other parts of the world? This is just a United States thing.
The adoption globally is interesting, but it's all about this court case, right? Because the price can't go anywhere. Got delisted from everywhere. It can't go anywhere until it's resolved. Because the richest, most powerful country on earth is not allowed easily to invest in it.
On that note, let's talk about US crypto regulations. The SEC seems to be putting up a lot of roadblocks. No Bitcoin spot ETF, blocking of coin-based lending. They're going after different altcoins like XRP, Terra Luna, and so forth. What are your thoughts? And how is it that Congress needs to step in here to fix this?
We've got to fight, and it has to happen. And the fight is a generational shift between those who grew up with the securities laws of the 1930s and the old system, which, let's face it, has failed for everybody. And there is a young generation who wants to own these assets because it's the only asset with the kind of upside that they need to build wealth. Because with equities at all-time highs, bonds, all-time low yields, high valuations, credit, there's real estate. I mean, everything makes it almost impossible for a 30-year-old to generate long-term future expected returns in the same way that their parents had. So crypto's it. And if you are going to try and take that away from the young people, you have to remember that they're the largest voting group. And if you're going to take away their future opportunity to invest and save. So I think it's a generational battle, and I think it will be a grand compromise. I think Gary Gensler has laid down the hard line because that's how you negotiate. You start with a tough line because he's the school teacher. He's saying you will not do that, and we will prosecute all of you. Everybody else says, just leave us alone, let us run free, let us do whatever we want. The answer will be a grand compromise, and it has to be a new set of laws called, let's say, the Digital Asset Law of 2025. But we've got time before we get there, because we've got to have this fight first, and they have to realize that there is no political will to fight this. So that's got to happen.
And Raoul, do you think some of this is the incumbents who are getting disrupted? A lot of the banks, a lot of money is leaving savings accounts, going into stable coins, yield farming, staking, all of that. And we know how political campaign donations work and the power of these banks and financial institutions, legacy ones at least, have on Washington, D.C. Do you think it's a bit of that, and they're trying to slow down crypto as much as possible?
Of course it is. Everybody's trying to apply the brakes because everybody knows it's moving at lightning speed. Don't forget, this is the fastest adoption of any technology in all recorded human history. It's being adopted at twice the speed of the internet at exactly the same size of market. And everybody's terrified. They're also building, Goldman Sachs got a crypto unit. Everyone's got crypto units that they know where it's going, but they want to slow it because they want to participate in it. But it's happening in this dispersed, decentralized manner that is so impossible to keep control of. So yes, fear does come into it, and they'll be saying, you need to stop these crypto people. They're speculating. So what does that mean? What it means is, well, it should only go to those people who can afford to, and it should be advisors. They want to be the gatekeeper. Their job is to be the gatekeeper. That's how they get paid. There's no gatekeeper in crypto. And they desperately want to assert themselves as a gatekeeper in the middle to get some slice of that pie. But that's not what this space is about, and everybody knows it. For me, and I refer to it a lot, this is a fourth turning moment. These things will not survive.